What if the Ford Capri never disappeared? What if Europe's answer to the Mustang had continued evolving for 60 years, generation after generation, instead of becoming a memory from another era? What if Ford had protected the Capri's identity, refined its proportions, modernized its performance and carried it all the way into 2029? The result might look something like this. A true two-door fastback. Rear-wheel drive. Long bonnet. Compact cabin. Modern technology. And just enough classic Capri attitude to make older enthusiasts feel instantly nostalgic. This is the 2029 Ford Capri. The original Capri arrived in 1969 with a simple idea. Give European drivers the excitement and style of an American pony car in a smaller, more affordable package. It had a long bonnet, a short rear deck, a fastback roofline and a huge variety of engines and trim levels. It could be a practical daily driver, a stylish coupe or a serious performance car. That flexibility helped make it a success across Europe, Britain and beyond. For many owners, the Capri became their first exciting car. It was accessible, distinctive and full of personality. It looked fast even when parked. Through the 1970s and 1980s, the Capri became increasingly capable. More powerful V6 engines arrived. Suspension improved. Performance versions developed rail motorsport credibility. Yet by the mid-1980s, the Capri disappeared. Taste changed. Hot hatchbacks became dominant. Coupes became less commercially important. Ford moved on. But imagine that it did not. Imagine Ford saw the Capri not as a temporary model, but as a permanent performance line. Through the 1990s, the body becomes smoother and more aerodynamic while remaining a two-door fastback. The long bonnet survives. Rear-wheel drive remains central to the car's identity. In the 2000s, turbocharging and advanced electronic stability systems arrive. The Capri becomes lighter and more refined. In the 2010s, digital technology, adaptive suspension and advanced lighting transform the car without turning it into a crossover. By the 2020s, electrification arrives, but Ford chooses a plug-in hybrid performance system rather than abandoning the combustion engine entirely. Every generation changes, but the Capri remains a low, rear-wheel drive coupe built around the driver. That journey leads to the 2029 model. At first glance, the proportions are exactly right. The bonnet is long and sculpted. The roofline flows smoothly into the rear deck. The cabin sits rearward, creating the classic stance of a front-engined, rear-wheel drive performance coupe. It feels unmistakably Capri without looking like a 1970s replica. The body is cleaner, lower, and more aerodynamic, yet the overall silhouette still creates nostalgia. Older enthusiasts will recognize the familiar shape. Younger drivers will simply see a striking modern coupe that stands apart from the endless stream of crossovers. The headlights are one of the most distinctive features. Rather than copying the round lights of the original directly, Ford reinterprets them as futuristic twin illuminated elements on each side. The shape suggests the old for-lamp Capri face, but the execution is completely modern. Adaptive LED technology allows the beams to change shape depending on speed, traffic and weather conditions. The black center panel visually connects the lights and gives the car a wide, confident stance. Around the rear, a full-width light bar carries the Capri name across the center, creating a strong identity at night. The body remains compact enough to feel agile, but wide enough to accommodate serious performance hardware. Beneath the bonnet sits a 2.9-liter single-turbo plug-in hybrid V6. The combined system produces 495 horsepower and 550 Nm of torque. The single turbo preserves a strong, progressive surge of power, while the electric motor fills the low speed response and eliminates most of the lag traditionally associated with turbocharged engines. Power is sent to the rear wheels through an 8-speed automatic transmission with manual control. In a world increasingly dominated by all-wheel drive performance cars, the Capri proudly remains rear-wheel drive. It is not trying to be the safest way to deploy power. It is trying to be the most enjoyable. 0 to 100 km/h takes approximately 4.1 seconds. Top speed is electronically limited to 285 km/h. The plug-in hybrid system also provides up to around 82 km of electric-only driving, allowing the Capri to commute quietly through the city before transforming into a proper performance coupe on the open road. That is the modern Capri philosophy. Efficient when required. Exciting whenever possible. The battery is large enough to make daily electric driving practical without turning the vehicle into an excessively heavy electric car. Regenerative braking recovers energy, while the combustion engine remains available for long-distance driving and high-performance use. The driver can choose between several modes. Comfort softens the suspension and prioritizes smoothness. Sport sharpens the throttle and gearbox. Track mode unlocks the most aggressive calibration for the engine, hybrid system, steering and rear differential. Wet mode carefully manages torque in poor conditions. Custom mode allows the driver to combine preferred settings. Inside, the Capri balances modern technology with a driver-focused layout. A fully digital instrument cluster provides speed, revs, battery charge and performance information. The graphics can switch between a clean modern layout and a more nostalgic display inspired by classic Ford gauges. A large central screen handles navigation, connectivity and hybrid controls, but physical switches remain for key functions. The seating position is low. The steering wheel is thick and compact. The center console rises around the driver, creating a cockpit feel rather than the open, tablet-dominated layout found in many modern cars. The seats use premium materials with subtle Capri script in the headrests. The cabin is comfortable enough for long journeys, but still clearly designed around the person driving. What makes this 2029 Capri especially interesting is the way it could appeal to two completely different generations. Older enthusiasts remember the original as a symbol of freedom, affordability, and style. They see the long bonnet, the fastback roofline and the twin light face and immediately remember the cars they owned, wanted or watched racing. For them, this model represents a continuation of something deeply emotional. It is not simply a new Ford. It is the return of a part of their youth. Younger drivers, however, may not carry that same history. They see something else. A sleek two-door coupe with plug-in hybrid performance, nearly 500 horsepower, rear-wheel drive and a design that is refreshingly different from everything else on the road. They may discover the Capri name through the 2029 model and then look backward, exploring the classic versions for the first time. That is how a legend survives. Not by being locked in a museum, but by giving each new generation its own reason to care. The Capri never needed to become a supercar. Its appeal always came from making exciting design and performance feel attainable. The 2029 version continues that idea. It is fast enough to challenge serious sports cars, efficient enough to live with every day, and stylish enough to become an object of desire. It does not abandon history, and it does not depend entirely on nostalgia. It simply takes the original idea and evolves it. A coupe for ordinary people who still believe driving should feel special. A car with modern technology but a recognizable soul. A Ford that refuses to become another anonymous crossover. This is the 2029 Capri. A plug-in hybrid V6. 495 horsepower. Rear-wheel drive. 285 km/h. A modern interpretation of one of Ford's greatest European icons. So would you buy one? Would this be the perfect modern Capri, or should Ford take the design in an even more radical direction? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe for more cars imagined as if the legends had never stopped evolving.